Hello, welcome. We're right now going to start with our Revit videos. So first off, we're going to start with the welcome page and a quick run through of what we have here. So first off, I've started my Revit. This is 2019. So basically I come up and need to decide if I'm going to work on a project and what type of project, or if I'm going to work on some family or structure stuff. So at this point, I'm simply going to go with a new, and I'm going to use a default template we already have. So in our case, I will go to new. And I will pick from a template we already have, which is hiding right here. In actually our case, it's shared on the shared drive under my name and in our architecture class. So I'm just going to pull it up. That's how we start everything. And I'm just going to go, okay. It's going to load my template. It's going to load some stuff that we already have built in there, some family information, things like that. So while I'm working at that, it's going to take a second to load. We need to look at what we've got going on with our interface here. So first off, our ribbon bar up here at the top, you can see where it says File, Architecture, Structure, Steel, etc. So as I'm going through those are our various ribbons that allow us to change what it is we're actually working on at the time. For the most part in our class, we'll spend a lot of time with the architectural ribbon, basically because of what's there. Now, these two floating palettes, for lack of a better description, are kind of important to us. Our properties bar here controls our properties of whatever piece we're working on at the time. And our browser here lets us look at whatever portion of the plan we're working on. Like I said, for the most part, we work on our floor plan. So if I go right here and I double click on the main floor, I went from the 3D view right here over to the main floor plan right there. Now, this is our drawing palette. This is our table. This is our world, our environment to work in over here in the drawing area. That's our main floor. Now, these little guys right here, I've got my cursor over, that's our elevation cameras. You do not want to erase those ever. You do not want to move those unless you need to, at least especially in beginning class. As you get more advanced, yes, you can click on them and you can move them around as needed. You can even change their orientation. So for right now, to get started, we don't want to mess with those. Now, that's our basic interface here. Now, my template starts out at a 1/4 inch to a foot scale. That's fine. I've got, like I said, my floor plan pulled up. I'm on my architectural ribbon bar. I've got my modify tool selected right here, and I can look through and see what I'm working on. So as I begin work, I've got nothing drawn right now. That's all I need to know. So that's our first. Take a few minutes and look around and pause this and then come back in. Okay, that should be a good enough pause for us. Now, I'm going to play with a couple of the tools right here just to show you how easy some of them are. We're going to start with a wall tool. So I'm going to pick on the wall tool right here. Now, it defaulted in this case on our template to a brick wall with brick wall exterior, brick with 2x6. It's got all the stuff built into it, all of the interior, all the layers, all the surfaces we got to work with. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to actually scroll down here and I'm going to find an exterior 2x6 siding. This is a normal wall in our area that meets our insulation requirements. So I'm going to click right here and it loads the wall for me. Now I just got to draw it. So looking up here what I've got to work with, chain is on. I'm drawing, my location line is on the finished surface exterior. I can draw center line if I choose to. I can draw core face exterior, core face interior, whichever works. I'm going to leave it at default right now. My height of my wall is right now preset. And it's unconnected. I'm going to tell it if I want to go up to my second level or whatever. Right now it's going 14 feet 9 5/8 of an inch tall. We're just going to leave it at that for a minute. Close this and we'll just start drawing our basic exterior wall. So I'm going to click right here and start drawing out. Now, if you notice, it tries to tell me a lot of information. It tells me how long the wall is I've drawn so far. It tells me the angle off of horizontal I'm at or the angle off of vertical I'm at, depending on which way I started. In this case, I'm drawing straight out here and I'm going straight out to my right on the page, and I've got a 62 foot 6 inch line. Now, if I simply type in, let's say like 52, that assumes feet. I've now made a 52 foot long wall. Now, if I go up from that, it tells me I'm perpendicular. Let's say I go like 18 feet up, come back this way, let's say like 14 feet. I'm just making some walls here. I'm just throwing in some numbers. Choose 14 again. Now, as I come back this way towards my origin of my house where I started at, see those dotted lines that pop up? That's kind of important. That lets me line up my surfaces and connect and close them. Now, once I get done, I'm closed. I can either right click and go cancel, or I can hit my escape key, I believe. I haven't actually tried that one. But there's my house. Now sitting in my cameras, it's not centered. I can center it if I want to. I can grab onto it and move the whole thing. So it's centered in the cameras, or I can move the cameras later. I'd rather do this right now. This is something I created. Probably not going to foul it up. Now, if I go to my 3D view at this point, there it is. Now, does anyone see a problem with my walls? The siding's on the inside. I did this kind of on purpose so you can see this, how easy it is to flip walls. If I want to change my wall around, I can simply go in here to my plan view, click on a wall, and these little arrows right here allow me to flip a wall over. The problem with doing this is what? Well, I just changed all the dimensions I had preset in my wall a minute ago, and nothing is reading what it should. So I flip every wall over so that if I come back here to my view here, look, all my walls are now oriented the right direction. I've got siding on the outside of my house. I come back in here and say I want to do a measurement, so I get my measuring tool right here. I want to go from this end all the way over here. This is supposed to be 52 feet. Hey, it maintains it because I flipped all the walls in uniform. So as you do your design work, pay attention and watch what happens. If you keep everything in uniform, it's all going to stay in uniform dimensions. Okay? So as I work this out, everything seems to be fine. But you have to pay attention to how you're doing it. Okay? Now, we're going to stop right here and let you draw the walls. In our class, all the students should have already made a sketch showing all their exterior walls and interior walls. These are important as we go, because if you do all your dimensions right, you can get this laid out. So I'm going to pause right here. You can pause the video, and then we're going to do interior walls in just a moment. Thanks. Okay, we're going to do interior walls right now. I'm going to come up here, and we're going to slap in some interior walls. So I go back to my wall tool here, and I've got an exterior wall with siding. I don't want an exterior wall with siding right now. I want an interior wall. So as I look through my list here, what have I got to work with? Okay, well, here's some walls. That's a partition wall, 2x4 with studs only, basement wall, 2x6 partition interior, 2x6 studs only. Now, this comes down to how you prefer to draw your plans. In my brain, it works this way. The drywall contractors are going to put drywall on all of the studs that are there. The people that need to know the dimensions are the framers. Now, in my brain, how that works out is this. I draw usually to bare stud. But because I didn't start drawing that way today, I'm not going to continue that way. So I'm going to actually use a 2x6 interior partition. You'll see why shortly. If I come in here and I come and click spot right here, see it gives me a cursor. I can come out and just drag out and guesstimate like this, put a wall in. So it attaches my wall there. Right click, cancel. So I've got a wall sitting there. Let's say I want to put another piece of wall. It's going to go from right here back over to this wall, and I'm going to cancel that one. I'm going to put another piece of wall right here. Now notice the dimensions showing up. I can control where my wall sits by that dimension. So let's get this sorted out here real quick. What I need to know is this. Is this wall right here even with that wall at the other end of the house? It needs to be. It's varying. I'm going to pull it out, get things lined up. I'm going to eyeball it right now. I'll go back and do the dimensions and type later. But I need that lined up because that's varying. I need this to be right about 4 feet across from center to center. There we go. Now the reason is this is a powder room, and this is a rather large pantry. Now as I do my design, I can look at this and adjust as I need to. Say I wanted to move that, I can move that out to 4.5 feet, which right there. And give myself a little more room in that powder room, but that's all I do for interior walls. I can throw them in, and then I can adjust as needed. So I'm going to let you work on all your interior walls right now, at least my students in my classes. If you're working on your own plan, great. We'll show you how to do doors and windows and other openings shortly. Thanks. Bye.